West Denver. Sleep deprived and heavily caffeinated.
All right, let's do this then.
This is the Jeff and Bill Show.
I don't agree with that.
They don't always agree, but hey, at least they have coffee.
Coffee.
And each other.
I love you, man.
God help us.
I want to bless him. We need all the help we can get.
Now here's Jeff Hunt and Bill Thorpe. The Jeff and Bill Show on News Talk 710 KNUS.
Morning again, everyone. Made it to the last of the hours. Thursday morning, October 9th, 2025. 710 KNUS Radio Free Denver. 82 the high today, 75 Friday. And on Saturday, 78 degrees. I get to fill in tomorrow and Saturday as well. And then I'm off one more time. Now, in the meantime, let me do this because it's going to be fun. Tommy Muller's here, and you're getting, like, every year, Tom and the Swallows go back to Capistrano.
Yeah.
You're getting ready to leave.
I'm getting ready to leave last week in October.
In the meantime, I'm going to bring Blake Olson into this because we got about 15 minutes with Blake. Blake, how long have you been in the business?
35 years professionally. As a kid, I did it when I was, 10, 11, 12 years old. But about 35 years. Gary Cruz was my mentor. I interned at Channel 7. He was my guy. And then after that, it was all, TV for the most part. First TV station, KRDO, we called it Cruddo.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could make more money at the business next door, which was McDonald's.
Yeah. When I came to work here for the first time, it was called Canis. That's what we. Everybody has
yeah,
right, but
exactly.
We called this radio station Canis. Mm-hmm. And what did they call KRDO?
They called it Cruddo, but God bless Jeff Thomas.
Oh.
He was a sportscaster in Denver, and he was the news director down there, and he gave me a shot. It's a great station, great people. And the owners were great. It was an awesome experience, and Jeff Thomas gave me my first opportunity. Man, I thought I was in heaven. I think I was making $13 an hour.
Oh yeah, Well, now, Tom, the first place you got paid was
at Whittle.
Whittle.
You're right.
The Whittle station.
The AM was Whittle, the FM was Wife. It's a Whittle wife.
That's
great.
What year was this?
1963, I think, yeah.
After Kennedy. He's gigging before Jack Kennedy was killed.
Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, I was in a TV directing class when he was shot.
Wow.
And, of course, we had TV monitors all over the place. And so we watched all of the unfolding of all of those events live as they took place.
Now, you became a top 40 jock, too.
Yeah. I moved from Wife, WYFE,
love it,
to WILS, which was a rocker. Top 40 station.
What shift?
Well, I started in news, and then I kind of a swing shift, whenever they needed me or whenever I had the opportunity, I went on the air. So a lot of weekend stuff.
What was your name?
At Whittle, I was Sonny Ray.
You dig that?
Sonny Ray.
Sonny Ray.
And then
that's awesome.
That was the best.
But I used my real name, Tom Moller,
when you were jocking.
When I was jocking, right. And then they made me Tommy at KIST in Santa Barbara. KIST.
So when you were top 40 in California, one name only.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Well, no, Tommy Moller. Because I didn't want two M's together, Tom Moller.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, and everybody calls me Tommy now. You have resurrected the name Tommy.
I bring Tommy back, sure.
Yeah.
So, what was the payola like, Tom?
we talked about that last Saturday.
I heard you.
Payola. Wait, did you ever gig under another name, Blake?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
It would have been, I don't know, that would have been frightening, honestly. But no, I never did.
I mean, they were called professional names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you?
No, for whatever reason.
Oh, I thought you gigged under another name.
No,
before.
No, I mean my mentor was also a great friend of Tom's, was the late great Bob Lee, and Bob Lee's real name was Bob Lee, Robert E. Lee, the Rockin' Rebel.
Yeah,
and he worked at WJBK.
Right.
And he knew, for real, he knew Berry Gordy and Stevie Wonder and the Temps, and I mean, he really knew that stuff. It was Motown, Detroit.
Right. Well, he went to high school in their school.
Yes, he did.
Northwestern High School, where all of those guys came out of.
Yeah.
And
so those guys, that was the generation ahead of me, but you caught it.
Yeah.
You were how old when you were working first time?
First time? Well, let me see. Probably about 18.
How old were you, Blake?
After college, when I started getting paid, 22, but I worked in public radio.
Did you?
You know, did stuff.
So you
teenager
knew.
stuff. Yeah.
You knew you wanted to do this.
Oh yeah. You know, my dad, he grew up in northern South Dakota on the border of South Dakota and North Dakota. He actually lived in South Dakota and, you know, rode a horse to go to school in North Dakota. So, but anyway, when we would go back there in Hettinger, North Dakota, I loved it because I could go to the radio station and just hang out there and look through the windows.
Pick it up.
It was right next to the dairy where my uncle ran the dairy in North Dakota, and I just loved it, man. And I was probably 8, 9, 10 years old. I begged my dad to take me by all the radio stations in Denver and in northern Colorado, and when we would go to North Dakota. So yeah, I've always been just fascinated by the whole thing.
First place you worked in radio?
Me?
Yeah.
Let's see. I did some work for KLMO in Longmont.
There you go.
I think I did, and then we had a high school radio station which was unbelievable.
Wow.
It was called KCDC, Career Development Center. And we did that when I was in high school, senior year. George Baskus started this thing, and it was, and JB and Jim Boynton, it was absolutely incredible. Jim Ferris, all these guys, they created this environment for anyone who wanted to be a broadcaster. We'd be on the air on this FM radio station. I think you could, hear it in the town, and it's just it was incredible. We had we were on the cable system, the television, so we were really, really fortunate, no doubt.
What was the format?
Top 40. So we had we had the carts, man. We had the best equipment. It was incredible. These guys were radio guys, and they just wanted to teach young people about the business. So, a lot of students from CU and CSU would come by and go, wait a minute, we don't have this in college, you know? So it was really cool.
Did you guys,
this
is great stuff. Tommy Moller, Peter Boyles, Blake Olson talking about radio. Did you do music meetings where you picked the tunes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go through that, Blake?
No, never did that. I'm interested about that, though.
We had Bill Ashford, and this was in the aftermath of Paola, that they had to go to a guy called, he was not program director, but he was the guy that was in charge of the music.
Right.
And
music director.
They were called music directors. Yeah. And the guy that I worked for was the late, great Bill Ashford. And when Bob and I were doing country, we had a hit. And Billy had a plaque on his wall that said, Alan Freed died for your sins. True story.
Wow,
yeah,
that's cool.
And I don't know what all took place, but they changed things up then. But we would have these meetings, Blake, and if you had a Tanya Tucker or Dolly Parton record, that's going in rotation. But then we'd sit in these rooms they'd have a turntable and a record, and they'd drop the needle.
Is that right?
And if the guys in the room didn't like it, well, you're nodding your head.
Yeah.
Tell the stories.
Well, it's true. What you're saying is true. If you didn't like it, it didn't go.
It didn't play.
Yeah.
But
I always wondered how that happened.
well,
Wow.
but that's how. If it was a Dolly Parton song, it's going in. If it's Merle, it's going in.
Sure.
I see.
And if it's doing that
Even if it was a bad song, or not?
those guys didn't have bad songs. I don't remember a bad Merle Haggard. Or
And these were 45s, right?
Yes.
You just take them out of the sleeve and then just pop them on there.
yeah. Well, there were where the jocks sat, where I sat from Bob or Bob sat from me. There was a spindle. Was a turn. It was a
Yeah.
and it had
It dropped in.
Yeah.
Dropped into the hole there.
yeah, and you could turn it and you could pick,
Yeah.
and you had to have a fast song opener.
Right.
And if you never opened the hour with a slow song, you always opened it with a fast song.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you'd cue the record up.
And know how much time you had to talk over it.
You
Yes,
knew exactly how much time to talk up.
You remember Johnny Paycheck had a song called "Take This Job and Shove It,"
Yeah.
and that gave you enough time to say, "I went into the boss's office tomorrow morning, and I said, hey," and then "take this job and shove it." That was a great intro.
If I'm driving down listening to rock and roll music in our era, I'm announcing with the beginning of the song, and I'm announcing it right up to the lyric.
Now, Blake, can you, when you listen to other radio stations, can you hear the screw-ups?
Oh, yeah.
Can you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
See?
Because I screw up every 10 seconds, so I know.
All of us. But you go, hey, what was the dumbest thing or stupidest thing or most frightening thing, Blake, you ever did on the air?
Ooh. Well, mine was television. And, yeah, I've done numerous. I've done plenty of them. But I think it was a Christmas Eve in
There you go.
Dallas.
Anything,
at
wait a minute. Any
Yeah.
story that begins with, it was Christmas Eve in Dallas.
Absolutely.
You know it's gonna get good.
Absolutely. Yeah, but all the, we used to stack the tapes up for all the highlights and all the sound bites and everything. So a show would have a stack of tapes.
Yeah.
3/4 inch beta. Beta tapes, not 3/4 inch, but I did that also. But I was at the CBS affiliate in Dallas doing a big show before a Cowboys game, and all the tapes fell onto the floor. The tape operator said he couldn't get any of them going. So and it was just, I was locked in. I had a teleprompter, but it didn't make any sense because all the tapes told the story and all the highlights. And I just talked for 5 minutes. It was horrible. And he got one tape on there at the end, and the anchors were laughing, the whole time. It was embarrassing. It was horrible. But that was the worst.
I will remember that opening. It was Christmas Eve in Dallas. Anything can happen after that.
Yes,
Worst
no
screw-
doubt.
worst-
That's where you don't want to spend Christmas Eve at a TV station.
No.
In Dallas.
Worst screw up.
Yep.
Oh boy. I know I had them.
Oh, sure.
But like you, I'm an old guy, so my memory
Starting to shot.
is really, I can't think of any really screw up.
We got fired on Christmas Eve. This tells you how much. I mean, I needed money. I mean, I really needed money. I was in grad school. My dad had passed away. The baby was born. It was one of those things. And as we got off the air, they said, "John wants to see you."
Oh.
I'm thinking Christmas bonus.
Oh yeah.
Honest to God, I'm thinking, give me a hun. It's like,
Yeah.
it's going to give me a skin. And we went in, and it was showtime. You're out. But as I'm, there wasn't any walking money. You were just gone.
Right.
And he said, "By the way," and I turned around. He said, "I need somebody to run tapes tomorrow morning, Christmas morning." No, Blake.
Oh.
And they were paying like $4 an hour to run those big reel-to-reels.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, guess who was in there running reel-to-reels?
Oh.
Me.
Yeah. Sure.
I did.
Oh, that's horrible.
No, I needed money. I mean,
Yes,
it was that or stick up the cabbie. But and I remember driving to work on Christmas morning, and there's nobody out there. Cops.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was it. And and went upstairs and unlocked it. And I knew this was going to be the last time I was going to be in that station. But we had those great big, remember the great big reel-to-reels? And Ed Green, legendary Eddie Green, built those tapes.
Yes.
And we played them.
Those are
that's awesome.
12-inch
Yeah, big reel-to-reels.
reels. Yeah.
And as soon as we had two machines, and as soon as that tape ran out, you would hit the other tape and it fast reversed. No, right?
Yes.
Like that. And I was like, God rest ye merry gentlemen. Run those tapes, and then
That's
I think
great.
at noon there was some kind of special down the line, you know. But you nursed the needles, and I probably made, I don't know, $35-40 that day. But you needed the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, that's the truth. Had to do it.
First hit show. Blake, first hit show. That they went, wow, that was a great show.
Oh man, it was in Tyler, Texas.
There you go.
Friday night at 10:30, an hour-long high school football show.
There you go.
We had 20 games from East Texas in the woods of East Texas.
And that's big stuff.
Oh man, and there are three of us on the air, and there are about 20 around. You know, photographers, producers, everybody just chipped in. They did jobs, you know, all over the town in Tyler, in East Texas, and we all came together on Friday night to just create these shows. And one of those shows was like the greatest one that I've ever been a part of. It was just like clean, and for the viewer it had to have been great because you saw everything. We had all the finals and everything flowed great, and we had a live band in the studio.
See, I've done those.
Yeah, man, it was great. That I miss that more than anything.
The man who said, "My mama raises roses in Tyler, Texas."
Yep.
Who was it?
Who said it?
Who said it?
Earl Campbell.
There it is.
And his mother's house was I think it was about a half a mile from our TV station, which was like an airplane hangar in the sticks of East Texas. And he built that house for his mama.
Yeah, he was the Tyler Rose.
Tyler Rose.
He's my guy, man.
He was awesome.
But Woody Page
still is awesome.
Yeah, indeed. Woody Page took me. Woody and I are working together, and Woody's covering the Broncos, and the Oilers are in town playing the Broncos.
Yeah.
And Earl Campbell's on his stroke, and there he was like incredible. So Woodrow said, "Come with me. We're going to the locker room." And I saw Earl Campbell in a jockstrap.
Oh man,
he had beer barrels.
Yep.
I mean, he had these legs.
Those legs are
And,
incredible.
you know, and I never went over and had the nerve to introduce myself, but I had the hat.
Yeah.
Tyler Rose. He was.
Oh man.
I know everybody's got to bail out of here. Highlight. The highlight for you, Tommy?
Yeah. Gee whiz. Highlight. Honestly, the highlight just was working at KIST in Santa Barbara. It was a rocker in Santa Barbara, California. You know how pretty Santa Barbara is. And
Being gigs.
yeah,
playing
it was
gig.
great, yeah.
My boy, we will do tomorrow morning together. And when are you leaving, like the Swallows?
Last week in October.
We'll talk before then.
Okay, good.
Hey, thanks, guys, for doing that. That was great.
Have fun, Tom.
Blake, thanks,
That's
Bubba.
awesome.
I'll
Good
see you in
to
the
see you.
morning. All right, everybody. Let's do a turnaround. 303, open lines, 303 696 1971. I wanted to do that with the guys. 303 696 1971. I'm Peter Boyles. It's a Thursday. Open lines 303-696-1971. Good morning, everyone. I'm Peter Boyles, on the air everywhere, 710 KNUS. The weather, 82. It's beauty. 75 tomorrow and 78 on Saturday. I'm here tomorrow, and I'm here on Saturday. We're going to be with Palestinians tomorrow. Here's a question to tag out the show. 303-696-1971. How many people in this audience do you think that this ceasefire will hold? How many folks listening to this show? And I couldn't be happier that the Gaza ceasefire will begin, or it looks like it will begin. The hostage release will begin within, President has said, within a couple of days or several days. The Israelis and Hamas agree to the first phase of the deal. Do you believe that this will hold? I mean, a serious question, because I don't. The president says Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first part of the Gaza peace deal. The agreement would see the release of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners and the withdrawal of Israeli forces from parts of Gaza and everything that goes with it. But the Israeli government meets today and formally approves the deal. It looks as though the president may be going to Egypt this weekend. Hamas confirms the deal. I'm reading all of this, obviously, from the internet. Palestinians in Gaza and hostage families in Israel have been celebrating the breakthrough. Do you believe it holds? Let's go to the phones. Line one is Brian. We have one line open, 303-696-1971. Hey, Brian, you're up. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Pete. Good to hear you in the morning again.
Thanks.
On the weekday anyway. The conflict in Israel, it's just never going to be solved. It's political. It's religious. There's so many elements in it. I think this is great for peace. This is great for people dying. But you watch when you have on your Palestinian guest, they're going to say they're being occupied. They're going to say Israel doesn't deserve the land they're on. They're going to say anything but we want peace. I mean, Israel's willing to carve out a place in Gaza for them. None of their other Arab nations are willing to carve some land for the Palestinians. They just simply want what Israel has conquered.
Let me take you back to my initial question. How long does the ceasefire hold?
Until Trump leaves office, and then this is just another ploy of trying to get close, and then there'll be another. The nations will turn against Israel once again. Trump is holding the line, and he's causing peace. I think he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for the Abraham Accords. And then if this holds for the next 4 years,
remember,
3 years.
The Abraham Accords, frankly, were meaningless.
It didn't prevent this, but it did get the Arab nations to legitimize and at least say terrorism against Israel is not what we stand for.
The Saudi Arabians, when Saddam is destroyed and gone, and the Saudis look at the mullahs, they need help. The Saudi Arabians are pragmatic as hell. Trump helps them, and they more side now with the Israelis. The Saudi Arabians are fascinating to watch. You talk about a whole country that would be more than willing to hold your coat in any fight you got into. But the mullahs have them on the ropes. And I think that had to, it wasn't that the Saudis were seeking peace in the Middle East. Saudis were scared.
Well, you're right, Pete, but, 1947, 48, the UN voted to create the State of Israel. So you can't get any more legitimate than that in the eyes of the international community. They voted, and they said that area is now declared a State of Israel.
But
the Palestinians never accepted that.
Well,
they've and they never will.
But if
So
you read
as
them-
long as you have one side
yeah, but if you read,
not legitimizing another,
yeah,
the peace will never happen.
the conversations leading up to the proclamation with Ben Gurion, and when people the dissenters said, suddenly now God is a real estate agent, or one of the more ineffective organizations in the world, the UN. You look at the vote, and Harry Truman, and then the interesting, great question, historical question, who was the second nation state to validate the existence of the state of Israel? Who signed second?
Was it Russia?
Joseph Stalin. And
Exactly.
So, yeah, because
And,
they had,
and I think that was a ploy anyway. I really think Russia pulled that vote because they knew the Arab nations would surround Israel and destroy them. And then they would have their hands, which is what they wanted. And I think they just voted for it, knowing they'd be destroyed in the next few weeks. And you know what? Ironically, that didn't happen. And 600,000 Israelis battled back millions of Arabs
the wars
in a miracle stand down.
The wars have been, that's what I'm saying, goes back to my initial question. By the way, I really love your call. There has never been, in spite of again and again and again and again and again, even through Ben Gurion and through Moshe Dayan and through now Netanyahu, and people have said, now we have peace. And what I've read and what I've witnessed in some travel, I don't see it happening. Now, I hope it's true. I hope the Gaza ceasefire holds. But, straight up, what do you think?
It's not going to hold, Pete.
Yeah,
I'd say temporarily, but here you have the Palestinians voted for Hamas, a terrorist organization, to be their governing body.
The vote was 11 or 12 years ago.
Of course. But I'm just saying, ask your guest tomorrow.
Sure.
If the Palestinians get what Israel has now, where did the Israelis go? Ask them that, because there's no answer for that, because their answer is into the sea.
But they said,
at least the Israelis are saying, we give them the Gaza Strip, we give them the West Bank. Those are concessions that have been made.
If you read them, and I just want to tell you, reading them, they say, you have no right to give us anything. You took, and now you let us have this. Palestinians are an interesting bunch, and it's hard to explain them unless you look at them historically, and they are treated literally by their own badly. And we were mentioning early when Donald Trump wanted to build the casinos, and they refused. And that great line that runs through Palestinian historians, the Palestinians never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. And they wanted...
Every land's been conquered over time.
Absolutely.
It would be like the Native Americans saying, we want America back, and we're going to have bloodbaths until we get it back.
Well,
no one would legitimize that movement, because it's been established that we pioneered this, and however we took it.
But was it right?
America took the land.
I mean,
right?
Look, to take the land from and again, it's an equation, but the Great Plains Indians, that's more of the example, the Sioux, the Cheyenne, to take that land from them and push them on a reservation. And I go to South Dakota every year, and you see the great sadness, and you can read it. And I'm not telling you that there's a way out of this, because I don't think there is. I think there just is and is. And, it was and is what it is. And I look at the world, we had a conversation last night at dinner. You look at the world, the Irish or the Angolans or the Algerians or in Vietnam or you go around the world and look for places that will show you the examples. And I'm not smart enough to give anybody an answer about this one.
It just never ends.
It doesn't
and
end.
Why this piece of land is just such a focal point for the entire, my dad's a pastor, and he supports Israel, and he'll tell you a biblical and a spiritual reason why it's so important. But that doesn't save us. I'm more pragmatic. That doesn't save us.
One of my
right now.
We'll end it on this. One of my favorite movies. Did you ever see the movie the French kid becomes the knight and he goes to the crusade and he's in the defense of Israel, and it's an absolutely wonderful film in terms of the visuals. And in the end, he meets Sahaladin, and Sahaladin is one of my favorite people historically. And when he says, "What is this place worth?" and Sahaladin says, "Nothing," and he takes 2 steps and turns around and says, "Everything." And I think that was the best way that anybody capitalized Jerusalem. And I've been in Jerusalem, and you can't take it in. It's impossible to take in. Or at least for me, it was impossible. But I love it.
Why can't the Palestinians do what the Israelis have done in Gaza and in the Western Bank? Jerusalem, my parents have been there several times.
Sure.
It's beautiful. There's orchards. They mine. They have gold mines there. They have archaeological finds.
But
they have so much there. Why can't people turn the same vicinity into what Israel has?
But you can tell. You know what the Palestinians and the anti-Zionist organizations say to that? They say, if you take an American $100 bill and you lay it down on the sand, it better do something. And the second largest, that's a good trivia question, the 2 largest PACs in Washington, D.C. that influence politicians, you know what the number 1 is?
It's probably a Jewish PAC.
No, number 1 is NRA. Number 2.
Okay.
Number 2, AIPAC.
Okay, well, see, and that goes back a long ways too. But you have, American money has provided Israel the support and the defense that they've needed. But why can't the Arab nations, who are richer than America put together, if you put them all together, give Palestinians what they need to thrive in the land that they have now have?
But that's the rub.
They don't.
But people think all Arabs are the same, and they're not. And they're not even.
Well, they're more similar than they have more in Palestinians have more similarities tradition-wise with the Arab nations than they do Israel.
Well,
Israel's decided to be a democracy.
Well, no,
and decided to be more Americanized.
You brought up the Arab world, and first of all, Lebanese are not Arabs. Lebanese are Phoenicians, and they tell me when I'm been with them and lived, I was there, they said, we taught the world the alphabet. We're Phoenicians. And you move through, Egyptians will not say they're Arabs. They'll say they're Egyptians. Afghans certainly aren't Arabs. Iranians aren't Arabs. Hashemites, the Jordanians are Hashemites. So when I always listen to people talk, and it isn't as simple as one lump of I got a minute. Brian, I love this call. It was a great way to end the show.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Pete.
No, thank you. What do you do for a living? What do you do for real?
I'm an independent contractor.
You're a good one.
My dad is like a pastor, and we've supported Israel for a while. But again, I'm for peace.
Me too.
I'm for peace.
Me too. I love your call, man. Thanks. Thank you. All right, everybody. We'll go out on this one because it's my theme song. Here's John. See you tomorrow morning on 710 KNUS. I screwed the pooch there. I thought we were out of time when Adam hit the music. With apologies, I wasn't watching the clock. So we're still good. Let me see. It is now 9:45, so we got about almost 15 minutes. 303-696-1971. We had full lines, and dumb boy, I broke away, and everybody said, well, the hell with it. We're trying to get them again tomorrow. So the lines are there now. Nobody's on them. 303-696-1971. We broke away talking about the announcement of a ceasefire in Gaza, and the hostages will be released within, they say, days. The Israelis and Hamas agreed to the first phase of this. And I have some Palestinians with us tomorrow here on 710 KNUS. Donald Trump has said that Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of the Gaza peace deal. And we know, looking at a glance, but the agreement would see the release of the Israeli hostages, Palestinian prisoners, the withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza, and the entry of aid to Palestinians. And I asked the question, and it's been a good one, how long will this last? Do you buy that this is the real deal? And history would tell us, no, of course not. There are, again, these parts of the world that this is simply going to happen. All right, lines are lighting up. Gary, you're on a radio show Thursday. Thank you.
Oh, Pete, what a treat. You're on the radio on a Thursday, and I'm
there tomorrow.
I'm on furlough.
I'm going to be there tomorrow. It all works out. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm on furlough, so I have the day off.
That's right.
I was thinking about, how Trump's been lobbying for Nobel Peace Prize. He keeps reminding us that he ended 7 wars, and it's interesting the timing of this, where the Nobel Peace Prize is going to be awarded tomorrow, and he got this Phase 1 agreement signed, or soon to be signed. And, I hope he doesn't get it. I read an article yesterday that his primary competition is Greta Thunberg.
The Nobel Peace Prize, to me, reading it over years, is pretty much a joke. The Peace Prize, it was in, don't hold me to the year, but Lee Duc-Tho and Henry Kissinger shared it over the end of Southeast Asia. And, I think that Kissinger left Americans there. I think, it was nothing. And they received the Nobel Peace Prize. Barack Obama received the Nobel Peace Prize simply by being Barack Obama. I don't get any of this stuff. So it is politically motivated. If Donald Trump gets it, I don't know if I'd be that shocked. If he doesn't get it, I don't know if I'd be that shocked.
Yeah, if it's a joke, maybe it should go to Trump because he's a joke.
Well, there are people that would disagree with you. So, right now, the guy, if this is all true, the guy looks pretty good. Now, the question is, will this hold?
Yeah, I think, Pete, this reminds me of, this, they call it a foundation for an agreement. I'll believe it when I see it. Well, it's kind of like when they had a foundation to buy the mine in Ukraine.
Yeah, well, there's a term. There's a reason why French is the language of diplomacy. And there's a term called détente. And if you remember back to Brezhnev and Nixon, and they used the term détente. What détente means in diplomatic French is we agree that someday we will agree. It's really a fascinating word. We agree because someday we will agree. So it's kind of a a drop in temperature. Now, what's going to happen? I don't know. All I know
It
is
seems that.
all right.
Oh, go ahead, Pete.
No, I was going to say, what history, as a history reader, this is going to be good for, till everybody licks their wounds and starts again. And all of these little kids that saw their aunts and uncles and mothers and fathers and older brothers killed, they're the next generation of people call them. One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. And people don't want to believe that, and that's fine, but it's the truth.
Yeah, based on what I've been reading about it, it seems to me, a peace prize should be given to someone once there's a peace, and we don't know if there's going to be a peace.
Well, once again, it's, it will be what it is. Barack Obama got one, Lee Docteau, Henry Kissinger got them. I'm sure other people got them. It comes from the guy that I think invented dynamite. That was named Alfred Nobel. And he felt bad about it. He felt bad about it. And he invents dynamite and then he manufactures a peace prize. I don't think it's as important as people think it is.
It's important to Trump.
Well, and that may be, and he may get it. But he also may not get it, and then you'll watch all of that happen again. Look, I don't know who makes the vote. I don't know who's the voters. But if they give it to that young woman activist, that's sad. That really is sad. So,
yeah,
who would you really give it to? The war in the Ukraine continues. I can't see them giving Vladimir Putin one.
If it were me, Pete, I've heard what the big difference is about this peace plan is that all of the Arabian, I think that's the right term, countries have come together. And it would seem to me if a peace prize was given, it could be given to all of those countries that are pulling together to try to make a peace.
Too many people, too many countries. And most of the stuff that they're doing right now is simply out of fear of the mullahs. And when you see the power structure that George Bush and Dick Cheney destroyed, as long as Saddam Hussein was there was a buffer. And Bush and Cheney, blaming the man for something he didn't do, destroyed the whole Middle East. So there's the knuckle. I'll tell you what, everybody. Tomorrow morning, we are here again, much to your chagrin, with some Palestinians. So that'll be good. And then, of course, the Saturday show. Thank you so much. Good show. Thanks.